Hi everyone, this is Courtney and welcome to the Incessant Bookworm. This is my booktube channel, but if you want to check out my Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or other channels, please feel free to visit those since I post other bookish content that can't be found here. So today I want to talk through my October TBR. So my TBRs, I usually set them way in advance because if you know me, you know I love to plan things out and just know what I'm doing, have everything where it needs to be, know how long it's going to take, etc., etc. Although I did kind of finish my back to school reading challenge. I read 4 out of the 9 prompts for that. So I didn't plan that much to not be able to read all of those 9 books, but I read some other books in there too, which is fine. Like reading is reading no matter the quantity. This October, I have a few that I really want to get to. Also, what's new this month, I post about this in my Instagram stories, but I have curly hair. I'm naturally curly. I just straighten it all the time because it's hard to manage, and especially when it's really humid out, but because it's fall and the air is a little bit crisper and cooler, I might do some more curly things. I hate wearing it down because it tends to shrink, but maybe there's something I could do about it. I heard that if you cut your hair straight, that when you leave it curly, it's not gonna look the same because it's curly, but the shape of it is gonna look kind of wonky, and I think that's why I don't like wearing it down. Like in a ponytail, who cares? Like it bunches up, it's fine. But maybe I'll try to have it cut curly. I do have a hair appointment later this month, so we'll see. That's probably more information that you need to know, but if I look kind of different, it's because I have curly hair and I don't usually wear it like this. So the first one I want to share with you all is The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova. So this, I made it this far, so over 50% during the back to school reading challenge, and this I was trying to double dip with a book I've started but never finished with the Ditch Day category, and then a historical fiction in the world history category. So didn't finish that. I'm hooked. It's really good. Now I want to watch and read all the vampire things out there about Dracula, about Vlad the Impaler. So it's kind of cool. It takes us through 2 different perspectives, actually 3, of these 3 different historians, all connected or related. And as they try to figure out like what's going on, is Vlad real? Are the people that are going missing a part of this cult, or are turning into vampires? And it's cool to see the dynamics between the different characters. And I've always wanted to visit Romania, so that's another reason why I love this book. So definitely want to finish this month, especially since it is kind of like spooky October. I don't really do like thrillery kind of reads during this month, but I'm already reading it. I need to finish it and just go from there. Also this month, I am continuing with my Read Around the World challenge, so I have 2 books for that. The first is Bottled Goods by Sophie van Llewyn, and this is also set in Romania, so that is my country that I picked for the month of October. This is during the communist regime in the 1970s in Romania, and it's about this woman, and it talks about like childhood, relationships, family, the face of obstacles amongst this government or this way of life in the 1970s. So it's kind of thin, so it should be a nice and floppy. Love it. So it should be a quick read. I have a couple days off this month that I'll probably bang this out. Let me see what and like the font is pretty big too. So I think this should be a good one-day read. The next book for my Read Around the World challenge is set in the US, and this is in the state of Utah. It's called Desert Solitaire by Edward Abbey. So this is it's a memoir told in prose. So this gentleman is out in the west of the United States, and it talks through a lot about the wilderness and our relationship with nature. And I love this. I think it's going to be so revealing. Like, I appreciate environmentalism. I go green whenever I can, but just living out in that part of the country. I've only been to Salt Lake City through the airport, so I don't count that as being in Utah, but I think that's a beautiful part of the country that I have yet to explore and would love to hear more about through this narrative. I'm also just starting Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno-Garcia, and this has been on my Libby library reserves for months, and it's perfect timing that it came in October. Again, not trying to do like a Gothic horror spooky kind of month, but it just worked out that way, and I'm just gonna roll with it. So this is about a young woman. She's about 22 years old, and she goes and visits her cousin who is ill or is having visions, we think, and we I know kind of that this is a little bit of a haunted house just based off of, well, the summary, but I'm getting those vibes based off the characters that are in the home when the main character comes and visits. So it's kind of creepy already. I'm only about like 18% in, but I'm excited to get to like the horror, mystery, ghosty kind of part of it. This month is also my Green Gables read along. So this series is a very beloved series, even though I've only read the first book, which is the cover right here, but there are 8 books total. So this is a very casual read along. I'm not trying to read through the books 2 through 8. I have started book 2, Anne of Avonlea, where she's 16 years old and she started her teaching post, but I'm not going to go into too much detail in case you haven't read the first one. Look how many times I've read the first one. Like, look at that binding or the spine. It's cracked like you wouldn't believe. But anyway, I think it's a good statement for how much I love the book because I've read it multiple times. So that is part of October because there's a quote by Anne that she says, "I'm so glad I live in a world where there are Octobers." So seems fitting to read this series by Montgomery during this time. So there's some more. This box set was gifted to me by my mom many, many years ago. And I'm just now getting to it. So thanks, Mom. Up next, I have Bravish, a memoir of recovering perfectionist by Margaret Davis Ghielmetti. Sorry if I butchered that. So this was sent to me, I think 2 ways. One, I won a Goodreads giveaway, which I don't think this is that copy, but the author and the agent reached out to me to send me a copy. So I think that's this version. So I might have 2. So who knows? If I like it, then I will pass it along to somebody, or of course donate it to a little free library. This tells her story as she moves with her husband to Paris and kind of figures out what that looks like for her. And I like, just based off the description, it talks about how everyone thinks she's living the dream, living the life that everybody wants to, but inside she's wanting more. And I feel that a lot. Like, I'm very fortunate to be able to travel or have been traveling up until quarantine, like on my own, or just like wanting to see places and going to go do that. But there is a void there. There's things that I'm missing that I want to share with other people, or is it really living the dream? So I question myself a lot with that when I travel, to find like even more meaning, or like, what does this add to my life that I can keep going with? So I'm interested to see her perspective on that. But plus it's a memoir, a travel memoir. Like, I'm super into those. I just posted a reels about it, about 4 other books that I love, and I'm probably going to add this one to it too, about travel memoirs written by women. So I'm already intrigued and hope to gain a lot of information from here on how I can improve my traveling when I get back to that, but also when I eventually write my travel memoir, some good tips there. The last book I have is Hinterland by L.M. Brown, and this was sent to me by the author for a honest review. So I hopefully will get to this and be able to review it before the end of the month or in November. So this looks like it's going to be a quick read as well. The font is pretty large, it's pretty thin, normal size paperback, but this follows this gentleman who has a young daughter and a wife, and then his old like best friend moves in next door, who is a female, and the wife gets a little bit suspicious. The woman goes missing, so does the mom, and the daughter is kind of growing up like questioning what happened, what was her father involved. So it seems like a little bit of a murder mystery, some drama, some jealousy thrown in there. So very intrigued by this, and a different kind of genre that I haven't read in a while. Those are the books I have on my October TBR. Of course, those are subject to change. I do work in marketing, and we put that asterisk on a lot of our like materials, just to say, like, you know, like this could change at any time. So same with this, subject to change. But I'm hopeful to get to a majority of those. I'm also taking a trip up to Columbus, Ohio to visit the book loft, to just treat myself. I was on a book buying ban last month, and that has since been lifted. This was my own, like, nobody forced me to do this. Like, I just wanted to, just to challenge myself and like read what I had currently, either through my Libby app for audiobooks or what's already on my shelf. So I think I did a good job of kind of clearing that out. So now to put in more books. So there's a few that I definitely want to get up there, and I'll probably do a haul, so don't worry about that. I also want to reach out to the bookstore to see if I can take video in there or have their permission to create a video, because I'd love to do a bookstore tour. Like, that's one of my goals with this channel, is to go to different bookstores and give you the experience of what you could see if you were to go there yourself, or just to share about a bookstore maybe you didn't know about before and you can support them. So mainly independent indie bookstores is my goal there. Otherwise, October is also prep-tober for NaNoWriMo, or National Novel Writing Month. So I'm a little bit behind. I'm hoping to, by the time you see this, I would have hoped to already have done a couple more exercises. So I'm really looking good for the month of November to write the 50,000 words. So I'm a little off of my syllabus that I created, but that's okay. Like, I am committed, I'm motivated, I want to do this. Like, this is my biggest goal of the year, is to write a book, and I'm excited about the plot. I think I just doubt myself, or just think about too far in the future of like the what ifs of I put all this work into it and then either it gets torn apart, which I know that's part of the editing process. Like, the first time you write something, it's not going to be good the first time around, and I have a hard time with that because I want to write something and move on to something else. And that happens a lot with my projects too at work, of having, like, I will go back and edit my mistakes or things that just need to be changed, but it's like, I thought it was good the first time. So that's probably going to be my challenge this year, is to get over that and just write stream of conscious based off the outline that I have planned, and then go from there. So wish me luck with that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, or feel free to comment down below. If you're looking to support me further, I do have my Ko-fi page and my Amazon wish list listed below if you feel the need or just want to support me in that way. But otherwise, I'm going to enjoy my October TBR. Let me know what you're going to be reading this month, or what you just wrapped up for the month of September, and I will talk to you later. So have a great day and happy reading.